Here's the soon-to-be world-famous archaeologist, Lara Croft.
Die, you son of a b-
This is serious. I'm just trying to lighten the mood here. Everyone's so on edge. Seriously. I'm not saying this to make you feel better.
Ugh. I don't know if the others will believe it. If they know what could happen.
Lara bastard.
Just try it!
This is all about Lara.
I trust you, Roth trusts you. Now let's take a break, okay? She's not always this serious, you know?
March 5th, 2013. The clock struck 11 p.m. aboard the Endurance, a pirate vessel transporting 11 of the most deranged raiders. Their destination, the sacred island of Yamatai, rumored to hold invaluable treasures. They had a sinister purpose in mind, to loot and destroy. But unbeknownst to them, they were met with the fury of a god, an ancient deity that lived within the island, protecting her people and her lands with all her might. The locals called her Himiko, the Sun Queen, master of the weather. In this story, we'll follow Lara Croft, a crooked profiteer and a master hunter, as she journeys across Yamatai in search of fame and fortune. Her methods are radical, her focus unyielding, and she always goes for the head. As they neared the island, the Endurance was thrown onto the rocky shore like a paper boat on a bloody rapid, stowing upon the souls on board a curse only a god's demise could quell. Quickly after the wreckage, the locals scurried to capture the looters, but they only succeeded in apprehending Lara. This would prove to be their undoing. When recovering consciousness, Lara found herself hanging like a pig in a redneck's porch. No one could say for sure where she was or why she looked like a spinning shawarma, but one thing was clear. She needed to get out of there.
The smell.
But to her disgrace, the only way to escape was to burn the sweet shawarma enveloping her. And that would come at a painful price. But you see, for Lara, this was but a scratch, as we would find out that her bones are made of grade 4 titanium, almost as hard as bread after a week. And even so, getting stabbed with a rusty rebar wasn't a big deal either. She was from London anyway. After wandering around the cave for a minute, Lara then thought for an entire second and concluded she couldn't be trapped inside a cave if the mountain stopped existing.
Gotta get out of here.
As the ancient mountain collapsed, threatening to bury her alive, we began a frantic race to the surface. We made it. Unfortunately, we couldn't celebrate. This was only a glimpse of the barriers that would obscure the horizon ahead. For problems would rain down like molten arrows, whistling, burning, and as Lara would learn, cauterizing. Nevertheless, we must carry on. Out of the cave and with the mountain slain, our immediate objective shifted to finding the Endurance crew. She might not care for their safety whatsoever, but even the mightiest king needs his gong farmers. As we climbed the decaying plain to cross the gap, we came to the stark realization that anything on this island would collapse and disintegrate upon contact with anything heavier than the gentlest of whispers. The entire place was as delicate as a soap bubble. Lara, a thunderstorm.
Watch out! Watch out!
Then, in a stroke of luck, we found a backpack that belonged to Sam, the only person Lara cared about. We were on the right track. But Lara's anxiety overwhelmed her, causing her to lose her grip and fall down a cave. Not wanting to risk hypothermia, our priority changed to setting a campfire to spend the night. Wolves lurked the shadows.
How can you suggest I'm not serious about this expedition, Lara? It's not just Sam's family funding us. I put my savings on the line, too. I refuse to bet my reputation on your hunch. I'm the lead archaeologist here.
We have to go to the Dragon's Triangle. The treasures are there. The gold is there. That's where we should go.
No, my little bird. I'd follow you almost anywhere, but that place has a bad energy.
Bad storms, more like. Makes the Bermuda Triangle look like Disney World.
That doesn't look good.
Oh, come on.
This way, I can sail on it.
Oh, don't tell me you're seriously
I'm the captain here. It's my decision. We're going into the Dragon's Triangle.
Suck on that, Whitman.
Why am I even here?
Even when her entire crew were against it, Lara convinced the captain to risk their lives going to the Dragon's Triangle, a southern part of Japan known for its deadly storms and unforgiving waters. She might be a spoiled little brat, born with money, raised by a maniac, but she knew her way around people. After all, Lara was a master manipulator. The next morning, our priority was to find something to eat. However, fruits and vegetables wouldn't cut it. Lara craved the sweet taste of fresh, warm meat. The moment Lara got her hands on a weapon, the jungle trembled. Her father was a corrupt, powerful man and an avid hunter. He taught her the ways of trickery, the laws of death, and how to headshot any living creature without a shadow of remorse. There it lied, an innocent creature holding on to life. The fact that it was pregnant did... As night fell anew, we searched for a resting site, but an unexpected finding was waiting around the corner.
Lara, you made it.
Sam, thank goodness.
Surprise. It's okay. He's one of us.
Sorry if I startled you. This place would make anyone a little jumpy. Sorry, I'm tired. Not really cut out for island life, I'm afraid.
Legend says she had shamanistic powers. She commanded an army of samurai warriors. Storm Guard. They rode the very winds of the battle. They say the sun rose at Himiko's. Lara doesn't know it, but she looks great on the mountains to the sea and beyond.
But what happened to you?
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Sam?
After a cold nightmare, Lara woke up, but Sam was gone.
Sam! No! Sam!
To make matters worse, the cruel jaws of a bear trap ensnared Lara, leaving her helpless as a pack of ravenous wolves closed in, biding their time to strike.
Is Sam with you?
She was with you.
You know how to use one of these? It's been a while.
Dr. James Whitman, a once renowned archaeologist, was part of the Endurance crew, searching for a headline that would put him back in the map, back to relevance. Unfortunately, his motives were rooted in desperation and insecurity. By the time he discovered that the Endurance crew were nothing but heartless pirates, it was too late. He knew full well going to Yamatai was a death sentence, but he was ignored.
Incredible. Oh, it is Himiko.
But look.
As the conversation unfolded, a group of locals emerged from the shadows of memory.
Come, quickly. Your friends are hurt.
Yes, probably by them.
Get back.
They can't be trusted. You still have a gun. Shoot them.
I don't want any trouble.
No.
We'll come.
No. What are you doing?
Be quiet.
No!
I'm handling this!
No!
No! Just go along with them, Lara.
The Solari. They were a devout faction of Yamatai locals who had banded together in the name of their revered leader, Himiko. They were fierce protectors of their sacred land, unwilling to yield to any who sought to pillage it.
Don't you f***ing move.
Don't make a sound.
Yeah, I'm on it.
After the group left us alive and free for whatever reason, we snuck around and hid inside an abandoned hut. Sadly, one of the Solari's bad apples, Degeneratus Maximus, wasn't as blind as his comrades.
No one escapes. Out! Вылезай! Но трать моего времени! Она тоже была порядочной стервой.
Get the hell off of me!
Although Lara was a ruthless pirate, she was the kind to wield the whip, never getting her hands dirty. But after headshotting the hair-smelling pervert twice, she had her first taste of blood. Now, she couldn't wait for lunchtime.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
What's going on down there?
After quickly dispatching the remaining men, we left the burning village, seeking to reunite with our crew to plan the next step. In the meanwhile, we received a transmission from Roth, the Endurance's captain, saying there was a radio tower nearby. We could use it to call for reinforcements and launch a comprehensive assault on the island. Lara's deep-seated animosity towards Japan began to intensify.
Please! You don't need to do this!
Hey, who's this little fox, huh?
Ah, she's cute, huh? Yeah, it's Alicia.
Alicia.
It's my daughter.
Oh.
14 years old.
FBI, open up! You just have to trust them.
That's what my father used to say.
Jesus Christ, Sam.
It became fairly clear that the Endurance crew were nothing but a pack of water-chewing degenerates. No exceptions. As we neared the old radio tower, we encountered resistance, but it was nothing Lara's inhuman ability to empty people's brain cavities wouldn't solve. Once inside, we found ourselves stuck in an area with no way forward. But naturally, Lara thought you couldn't be trapped in a room if the room stopped existing. And then we executed a man that Lara seemed to particularly hate more than the rest.
Go to hell.
Moving forward, we one-tapped the men on the way. And finally reached the control room.
Alex, the console's a wreck.
Damn it. On those old towers, they installed those panels high up. I mean, way high up.
To no one's surprise, the World War II era equipment was nothing but rust and spider webs, which begs to ask why was it so guarded in the first place. But anyway, the technical dude, the weirdo, told us there was a way to manually send a signal. We only needed to climb a small communication tower to access the panel. Of course, that meant killing more men.
How many are there?
After 21 more men suffered a lead-induced stroke, we reached the radio tower, a gigantic rusted collection of metal bars and beams with a glowing light at the top. As with everything on the island, this entire structure was put under unprecedented stress by Lara's benign weight.
Is there anyone there? This is Lara Croft. We need men, guns, and bombs. Please respond.
Craft Nautilus 177 Alpha. Searching for you since the distress call from your vessel. Got your approximate position, but we could sure use a visual.
Now that a Boeing B-17, a mighty long-range bomber, was on its way to drop hell upon Yamatai, it was time to give the pilot a visual, so we went down and detonated an oil tank.
Oh my God! There it is!
It remains unclear what the plane was supposed to do apart from dropping bombs, since it had nowhere to land. The people involved in this situation were not necessarily the smartest folk in the world. But anyway, a flaming plane was coming down on us. It was time to run. After precisely avoiding the spinning rotors of a crashing plane, Lara misjudged a gap and jumped to her death. But that was but a hiccup, as we were quickly back on track, finding Roth soon after.
I'm really glad you moved.
You and me both, girl.
One moment they were fine, the next, there was this storm. It came out of nowhere.
It's your fault, Lara.
It's not my fault, Roth.
We'll find another way.
Mayday, mayday. The co-pilot just won 7
I'm not saving him.
Sometimes you've got to make sacrifices, Lara.
I know about sacrifices.
No, you know about loss. Sacrifice is a choice you make. Loss is a choice made for you.
I choose to let him die, Roth.
And after choosing to let the surviving co-pilot die, we carried on. To Lara, a pilot without a plane was as useless as a cardboard fridge. Our mission then shifted to finding Sam. They said the Solari captured her and held her captive in some old Japanese palace nearby. That was exactly where we would go. After Matthias, the Solari leader, explicitly told his men to end Lara, they left her alive out of the good of their hearts. Unlike Croft, they weren't ruthless murderers. Instead, they gave her a third chance of redemption and hung her in the basement, surrounded by the cold bodies of her victims. Naturally, it was time to escape again. But just when we thought things couldn't get any worse, we made a shocking discovery. The Oni, an ancient sect of Japanese warriors, had forged an alliance with the Solari to safeguard Yamatai. These formidable beings were no ordinary fighters. They were immortal, trained over centuries, and blessed by the Sun Queen herself. They were loyal, they were fearless, and they did not f*** around. Despite the added layer of challenge before us, we marched forward, equipping ourselves with the shotgun of a dead soldier. The Oni might be immune to the passage of time, but there's nothing a double-barrel blast to the face can't kill. After all, it would take more than an army of immortal warriors to scare Lara off.
Oh no!
But after defeating the Solari guarding the temple, we were thrown into an unwinnable scenario.
And it costs only pennies more a day. Don't take chances. Take Oscal.
Roth, can you hear me? I'm in some kind of shantytown near the fortified palace.
I'm still coming down the hill. How did you get there so fast?
Long story.
After falling for 6 minutes straight, we arrived at the Japanese favelas, a poor town populated by hard-working men and women, families, innocent kids. The people here had nothing to do with Lara's reckless pursuit of her goals. All they wanted was to live in peace.
Fine, you bastards!
Say some gangster is dissing your fly girl. You just give him one of these. Ooh, hey, ooh.
After annihilating the entire town and their farm animals as well, the surviving citizens hastily moved on to a secondary conflict. Someone else was causing ruckus to the east, so we went there to investigate.
What? You've got company! Outsider! Give it up!
Not a chance, you bastard.
Sound the alarm! Drop your weapons! Or we kill your friend! Do it!
Just try it!
And so Angus Grimaldi met his end. He was the Endurance's janitor and a beloved character among lowlives. But behind the Scotchman's charismatic demeanor lied an international terrorist that knew no boundaries. In 1982, he was sentenced to 32 years after officials found 1.4 tons of uranium-235 in his shed. After serving his time, he returned to smuggling and joined the Endurance to sail the high seas. And now, thanks to Lara, he was dead.
Roth!
Yeah.
Grim's dead.
They tried to use him as leverage to make me surrender.
Lara, bastard.
Can you cover me again?
No.
You maniac.
Lara's despicable actions were eroding the trust of her colleagues. But regardless of their opinions, we had to keep moving, as Sam was nearby and time was of the essence.
My brother, listen to me now. You are the first and the last. Speak
Use the rifle, use the rifle, use the rifle, use the rifle. Come on.
Take her to the throne room.
Lara may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but her unwavering determination was a force to be reckoned with. She was unstoppable, unyielding. She was inevitable. Due to Lara's inability to use the automatic assault rifle she's been shooting this entire time, we had to make our way through an underground cave system filled with flammable gases and Solari members. At least we knew Sam was okay, but the question lingered. Why keep her alive? Are the Solari totally inept at killing their enemies? Is she some kind of important figure to them? Only time will tell. For now, we had to find a way to the surface. But as we stumbled our way down, because of course everything was exploding, we were suddenly greeted by the sound of a familiar voice.
Keep it up, you son of a bitch! When I get out of here, I'm gonna shove one of those arrows right up your ass!
Badass, Lara!
Yeah.
How the hell did you get in here?
I had some help.
Gramp?
He didn't make it. Look, there's a rescue helicopter on its way. I know they're keeping Sam separately. Have you seen Whitman?
Guess he didn't make it to the guest room.
As much as Lara disliked the trio of crayon-slurping pirates, getting them out would surely improve our chances of finding Sam. So, with the subtlety of a volcanic eruption, we began the process of getting them out.
Oh, great.
As expected from such deviants, the group erupted in cheers at the slightest hint of death and destruction.
Look! There's daylight!
Oh, yeah! No, 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 no.
Expected from Yamatai, as we freed them, everything around us began to collapse and explode, forcing us to take separate ways. That meant that we, essentially, freed them for no reason other than to save their lives. But Lara remained positive, as they could be useful down the line. Nevertheless, our solo journey continued as we escaped through the blazing village above. But then, a speck of hope flickered amidst the flames.
We're beginning to doubt we'd ever find you. But here you are.
Please. I know you think I'm something special, but I'm not. I don't want to be chosen.
Himiko's blood runs in your veins. I think you know this, Samantha.
I just want to go home.
The fires are getting worse. The other girl's vanished.
Dimitri, guard her with your life.
Lara! Oh my god, you're here!
My weapons.
Why don't you hug me, Lara?
We need to leave before he comes back.
Run, Lara, run!
Get down!
Run!
Keep going, Sam! I'll find another way out!
Dr. Whitman valiantly distracted the Solari so we could escape. But in the turmoil, Sam slipped away from us once more. Now, we had to navigate through a sea of heavily armed men to reunite with her. Every step would be treacherous, and the threat of death loomed over us like a dark cloud. But we had come too far to give up now. A second, smarter team of mercenaries, this time with a helicopter, had arrived. They were here to extract us from the developing chaos and plan an attack somewhere safer.
Roth! Roth! Where are you?
the speed of the wind and pushing with the determination of death, Lara leapt toward the helicopter amidst a whirlwind of fire and chaos.
No. No.
Are you okay, Lara?
Is she okay? Because it's all about Lara, isn't it? Have you forgotten that she's the reason we're here? I shouldn't have said that. That old PT boat on the beach. I should be able to fix it up.
It's worth a shot.
You're all so useless.
Come on, Lara. Don't talk like that. We just gotta regroup. Come up with a plan, you know?
You just don't get it. Any of you. Look, I don't care if you all die. I just want to get off this island with my Sam.
Lara, you need sleep.
Bitch.
Look, I'll be the first to admit that I usually go in for the weird stuff.
I know you think your instincts are a weakness, but they're a strength. Trust them.
No one leaves.
In the wake of the crash, Conrad Roth lost his life alongside the pilot. Lara's incredibly self-centered acts had claimed yet another soul and doomed their chances of escaping. The situation grew dire. Both support missions ended in disaster, overpowered by the relentless might of the storm, the power of Himiko. Lara's hatred toward Japan reached unprecedented levels, something the world hasn't seen since World War II. At this point, escaping Yamatai wouldn't be enough. Now she wanted the island gone from the map. She wanted it a myth. But it was clear that trying to attack from the outside wouldn't be possible as long as the storm protected it. If she wanted to destroy it, she'd have to do it from the inside. She'd have to kill Himiko herself. Determined to murder God, we marched on, seeking to reunite with our crew on the shore. They had found a boat that seemed repairable, and they were waiting for us. So, we headshotted everything in our path. And reached the beach.
Sam, I'm here.
Lara! Stay back. This has got to be our best chance, right?
We've got to try.
I'm glad you decided to join us, Lara.
Alex should have been back by now.
How many are there?
I don't know. Must have scared them off.
You could have led them straight to us.
It's not how it was, Lara. They caught me while you were getting Sam.
We don't have time for this. Look, I don't know what the problem is between the two of you, and to tell you the truth, I don't much care.
If we fight amongst ourselves, then we lose.
I'm going after Alex. Where were the tools?
The engine room. Look, he can take care of himself, Lara.
Good. Then we'll be back soon.
Anything I can do?
Just stay out of the way.
Alex, the group's convicted predator, ventured back to the damaged Endurance to retrieve the essential tools to repair the old boat that would get us out of Yamatai. These tools were of utmost importance since they couldn't be sourced from any other place on the island. However, as time passed and Alex failed to return, our new objective became retrieving the tools ourselves.
What were these high-quality rats used for? Were they a symbol of power and wealth? I'll research it if I ever get out of this place.
Reaching the Endurance meant killing a dozen men. Getting stuck behind a bugged door. Then killing more men.
Come on, show me your head. Yes.
After sliding down a convenient zip line, we defeated the 8-foot-tall mini-boss man before finally reaching Alex at the heart of the ship.
You got the tools.
Finally, I impressed you.
No.
That looks like my dance career is over.
What are you doing? You'll kill us!
We're gonna make it out of here, right, Lara?
Not with you!
Give me!
Lara! Run, coward! See you in hell.
After abandoning Alex, we made our way back to our crew, now tantalizingly low in members. I just want to point out that this motherfucker died, quite literally, for a screwdriver and a wrench.
Lara!
When we heard the explosion, we thought...
Alex.
Incredibly extra dead.
Jesus Christ, extra dead.
Seems anyone caught with you has a pretty low survival rate.
I'll shoot you in the armpit.
Just eat, okay? Those bastards went quiet, but it doesn't mean they're gonna stay that way.
Once Reyes finishes the boat, we'll be back to civilization in no time.
We can take the boat out at high tide.
No, we can't.
Don't start that bullshit again, Lara.
Where are you going?
I can't with this bitch.
Once we're ready to leave, we're leaving. Whether you're back or not.
With the tools delivered, Reyes could now fix the boat that would get us out of here. However, even if we had the strongest Somalian vessel, the storms would certainly wreck us. We had seen firsthand that the only way out was ending the storm, killing the Sun Queen. So our main objective became tracking down Himiko's mortal body and slay the goddess once and for all. But as we crossed this damned island, a disturbing call halted us.
Lara! Where the hell are you? We're under attack! We need help!
The Endurance crew was under fire. The Solari had managed to locate Sam and wanted her back. You see, despite being in Japan, Sam was the only Japanese person in the country, and the Solari wanted to offer her a chance to inherit the Sun Queen's power, to become Yamatai's next savior and protector.
Whitman took Sam and they disappeared.
He's taken her back to Matthias.
So what's her next move?
We'll all die. Just like the pilots. Just like Roth.
Himiko, despite her great power, recognized the need for a successor, someone who could carry on her legacy should unforeseen events arise. Yamatai's fate was too great of a burden for one pair of shoulders to carry. The problem was that Sam, like any other heartless pirate, couldn't care less about helping others and wouldn't flinch at the thought of her people succumbing to hunger and diseases. She adamantly refused to become their paragon. So together with Jonah and Reyes, we ventured forth into the jungle, leaving behind the comforting embrace of the sun-kissed shores. We were entering a realm of unknowns, a treacherous world where the passage of time was but an alien suggestion. But there was no turning back now, and as we pushed forward, our apprehension gave way to determination. We didn't know the dangers that lurked ahead, but Lara stood more resolute than ever, willing to do whatever it takes to destroy Yamatai.
Right. Let's go.
No. I'll need you and Reyes to guard the main entrance while I go in after Sam.
You're going in there alone?
More people means more danger of being spotted. I need you here taking out as many of those bastards as you can. It won't just be the Solari either. There'll be others. Samurai, the Queen's Storm Guard. Look, anything that's not me or Sam, shoot it.
My little bird. This isn't goodbye. I'm not gonna say goodbye.
We aren't gonna wait for you, Lara.
Stop looking at me.
Alone, we made our way toward the temple, but as we approached the ancient ruins, an unexpected sight seized our attention.
Sam, she's still alive. And the good doctor. What the hell are you doing, Whitman?
They wait only to be introduced to their new queen by the one who brought her back to us.
Let's get some awards, James.
What is he doing?
My name is Dr. Bye.
And just like that, Dr. Whitman became history. After being chopped by the Oni guarding the temple, the strong current blew his remains to the depths of the valley like a cordless kite of flesh and bones, leaving him very, very extra dead. Whitman's actions revealed a betrayal against Lara, as he had aligned himself with the Solari in an attempt to prevent the destruction of Yamatai. In contrast to the others, he displayed a glimmer of morality that remained intact. Sadly, the Oni, who had seen him with Lara, would not trust a foreign criminal.
Oh, shit. Don't make a sound, Lara.
As we infiltrated the temple, a breathtaking sight unfolded before our eyes. An ominous legion of Oni warriors marched in unison, preparing for battle. Himiko had commanded her devout followers to relentlessly pursue Lara, vowing to eliminate her at any cost. But doubt lingered in the goddess's mind. Could an entire army of immortal warriors stop a British nerd? Unbeknownst to her adversaries, Lara had honed her skills to perfection, becoming a phantom amidst shadows. Her mere presence sapped her enemy's intellect, and was able to cast an aura of severe myopia that crippled their ability to see. Under the scorching summer sun, not even a bald man's gleaming head would catch their attention. But good news were short-lived. You see, we might have avoided the first group, but after falling from the usual brittle platform, we were spotted by an even bigger cluster of Onus. No sneaking around this time. Now, it was time to fight.
bastards! Let's see what you got!
We had arrived. The Stormguard sanctum, the very heart of Himiko's dominion. Although our objective was in sight, something was amiss. The weather had turned violent, unstable. Lara could sense the disruption. The air felt thicker, hard on the lungs. Snowflakes danced in the air, but their descent was arid, scorching. The ritual had begun. There she was, the Sun Queen. And so it began. One last push against the Oni. Time became a merciless adversary. Urgency was at its highest. The moment was nigh. But the remaining men would not go down without a fight. The last push against the Solari became a harrowing battle, where survival teetered on a razor's edge. Their ranks grew disciplined. Their tactics grew sharp. They were no longer mere foot soldiers. Fear of failure had forged them into a formidable force, lethal and relentless. As we pushed onward, the very ground beneath our feet began to give way, threatening our progress. Fortunately, Lara's innate ability to climb even the tallest Mexican border came through with force. But just as we dared to believe we had overcome the immediate obstacles, a new and formidable figure emerged from the blizzard. The Oroka, an imposing titan of ageless strength, loomed before us. Oroka was Himiko's personal guard, Yamatai's big cheese, the pinnacle of skill and loyalty. But the beast seemed to be immune to gunfire. Its armor was too thick. Its speed was that of a rabid lion. How could anyone defeat such a monster? Is this it? Is this the end? All that we had fought for, all the battles we had endured, swayed on the precipice of despair. The sacrifices, the pain, was it all for nothing? Everything was lost. But then, a voice pierced through the storm.
Lara, please!
Sam was still in danger. This wasn't over. Now, it was time to kill a god. Matthias was dead. With him went the Solari, and the Oni are no more. However, those were mere pawns in the grand scheme of things. If we wanted to leave Yamatai vulnerable to foreign invasions, there was one more thing left to do. Himiko was dead. A goddess that protected an entire island for a millennium had been killed by a British nerd with a stick. Yamatai was left totally susceptible to any foreign attack. Now, nothing stood in Lara's way as she thought of plundering the ancient site, stripping it of its treasures before making her escape. She envisioned the forthcoming destruction in her head, a dark cloud of planes flying over the island, determined to wipe Yamatai from the map. But then, a heart-wrenching revelation would break her very soul.
Sam! Oh, God. Just stay with me.
Sam, please don't do this to me. The lights, Lara. They are fading.
We were too late. Sam was gone.
The weight of her loss bears down on my spirit, a burden etched into my consciousness. Yet, in the years we shared, her indomitable spirit persists. It whispers in the corridors of my mind, urging me to rise above despair, to shatter the shackles of grief. For her, I will forge ahead, carrying her memory as a torch, illuminating my path through the shadows. The day I set foot upon Yamatai's sacred soil, my destiny was sealed, for I was born to brave adversity, to command, to endure. The doubts that once plagued me are long lost, for I have grown. I have surpassed my limits, accomplishing feats I once deemed impossible. I have seen the unseen. No longer do fears bend my knee, so I'll journey on, land and sea. Though this chapter will remain in memory, my story's beginning, boundless and visionary.